Now let us return to analyzing this Quranic verse. Now this verse concerning Joseph alludes to the crucifixion of the Messiah. Again, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan at the hands of the synagogue of Satan in the aftermath that ensues after his crucifixion. As such, it indicates that the attack on the Honorable Louis Farrakhan is expected to be so epic that Black people will ultimately come to understand what the Honorable Louis Farrakhan has meant to us, especially after he is taken from among us. Now, the effort to redeem humanity from gross darkness and suffering caused by the satanic rulers of this world requires the Messiah to endure intense agony. This is why he is called the suffering servant by biblical scholars. It states in the book of Isaiah regarding the Messiah, again, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, it states, "Who hath believed our report? And to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. He hath no form nor comeliness, and when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And we hid as it were our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. Surely he hath borne our griefs, and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions, he was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed." Now let us consider several questions based on these verses. First, what is a report? And second, who is giving this report regarding the Messiah? Well, a report is an account or statement describing in detail an event, situation, or the like, usually as the result of an observation or an inquiry. So a report is written or verbalized after the fact. And although Prophet Isaiah is describing the Messiah's extraordinary sacrifice for the redemption of his people and for the redemption of humanity, Isaiah is not describing history. He is giving us a prophetic picture of what is to be expected or take place during the Messiah's work among us. This is why the phrase "our report" is used instead of "my report." Therefore, those who will ultimately report the Messiah's tenure among us include his disciples. The book of Acts of the New Testament alludes to this in Jesus' discussion with his disciples following his crucifixion and resurrection. It states, "When they, disciples, therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? And he said unto them, It is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father hath put in his own power." Now, this question alone shows that Jesus of 2,000 years ago was not the Messiah, because the Messiah redeems and reforms the children of Israel after their 400 years of bondage at the hands of their enemies. Now we continue in the book of Acts, verse 8. "But ye shall receive power," Jesus speaking, "after that the Holy Ghost is come upon you. And ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria, and unto the uttermost part of the earth. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. So the only other person who is said to depart in a cloud or something similar is Elijah. So it's the same way that Jesus goes. And then, of course, if we open the book of Revelation, he shows up now on the throne of God as a lamb thought to have been slain. Well, Jesus would not have given this command to his disciples if the people really knew about his work among them. They did not fully know him, talking about the common people, nor what he taught. And this stands true today regarding the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, because that's what we're talking about, the fulfillment of prophecy, not something that occurred 2,000 years ago.